People have called me lots of things. Dedicated, passionate, intimidating, obsessed, a machine. My name's Heli. It's not my full name, but don't call me by my full name, please. In my home waters, Byron Bay, from Wadigos to Main Beach. I feel like I could swim across there with my eyes shut and know where I am. I have done a lot of long distance open water paddling on a prone board, and I also love swimming. I wouldn't call it sport, I'd just call it the things that I love to do. And I guess I lean towards longer things. I guess I went through a lot of years being in a survival mode through relationship dysfunction and stress. So I separated from a 20-year relationship, and the water was a huge resource for me. The first year after I separated, I would say it was a year of crying and paddling, and a lot of the tears were shed in the water. But for me, going out there was a moment of peace. It was like all I had to do was notice subtle little shifts, the light on the water, the chop, the lift of the wave behind me. It was just a sanctuary. And I'd just been through 5 years of survival. I'd been through the year of crying. I'd been through so much shit. So I knew that I could do something hard. One day I was out paddling and someone yelled out to me, "Race ya." And I kind of looked. I'm a bit competitive. I said, okay. I kind of knew I'd win because the board's made for racing. Anyway, so I beat him. And we sat out the back and had a little chat. And this person said to me, "I've seen you out here for years and I admire your passion for the water and your dedication." He said, "This is a cool board. What else can you do on these?" And I said, "I think there's something in Hawaii from some island to another. I don't really know much about it, but I'm too old for that." And he said, "No, you're not." And it really just hit me in that moment, because a lot of the messages I had received about who I am and what I'd been doing were kind of critical and negative. And there was a moment coming out of that, head down and paddling, literally in that survival state, of kind of looking up and noticing that someone understood me. In 2018, I paddled about 53 kilometres from Molokai to Oahu in Hawaii, across what's called the Channel of Bones. I heard about a 16-year-old girl having done it. At the time I was 48, got 48 years of having to do hard stuff, so I knew I could do it. Training for Molokai, there was a whole lot I didn't know about, thank God. Or maybe I wouldn't have done it. Oh, I had imagined crossing the finish line and someone putting a lei around my neck. All I had to do was move from the start to where I knew I had already been in my imagination. It was really hard work. With something like the Molokai paddle, like a seed just gets planted that is something that's incomplete. Underlying that, what drives me or motivates me is I want to keep growing. The hormonal changes with menopause, plus the stress that I've experienced in my life, and part of that was that kind of like giving or that acquiescing, you really feel the impact emotionally, mentally, physically. You really feel this. It's like, wow, what's happening with my body? What's happened to my mood? And I think that just adds a bit of fuel to that fire to go, I need to look after myself. First of all, we were hysterical and emotional and needy and weak, and now we're old and unnecessary and grey and sedentary. There's kind of like two bookends that are, to me, just not the way I live and not the way I feel. There's so many examples now of women not living according to those stereotypes, but the stereotypes still exist and the stigma still exists. You know, I work lifeguarding. I know some male lifeguards my age and older that are still working on the beach. I don't know any women. But I work with young people and I don't think, oh, here am I, I'm the grandmother and here's my lifeguard partner who's the age of my sons. And it's incredibly refreshing. I don't feel like I'm resisting a convention. I'm just doing what I love. And then there's a compulsion to that, but I don't think it's about being obsessed. It's like food. I know I need to eat today and I want to eat something nourishing, so I'm going to go for a swim. And I guess that's an aging thing. I've had so many experiences of doing that. I know this is nourishing for me. The older I get, the less time is left. I don't believe in reincarnation. This is it.